Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of the POV action tutorial. In this video we use the control rig of the Unreal mannequin to create additional animation and give more visual impact. Here we go! Welcome to the second part of this tutorial. In the first part we animated Matty. We made it run, jump and then run. We attach a camera to it to get a GoPro effect like this. As such, the plan works, but what we want is to add some interaction in order to gain credibility and immersion. To do this, we will add a door. We are going to imagine Manny running down a hallway, pushing open a door, getting to the balcony, and jumping. This is what you have in the presentation video of this tutorial. Let's go! We go to the content browser, started content, architecture. You take the wall door 400 by 300, you slide it into the stage, rotate 90 degrees, put it in front of Manny. Let's check if he goes through the doors. Back in the sequencer, he goes through the doors and jumps. No! That the wall is up. We are going to put up the door. You go to starting content, in props, you take SM door, you drag it on the level. So, you wedge the door against the jump. Then, we will scale the door on one side and on the other. Our door is in place. At the level of the sequencer, I would like to do something. Manny arrives, runs, and there, at this place, he has to reach out his hand and push the door. However, the handle is not on the right side. Hop, rotate 180 degrees. We put the door in the other direction. So when he's going to push it with his right hand, it will look much more natural. Now that our door is in place, we just have to make an interaction between Manny and the door. This is to say that when he goes to run, he will stretch out his arm. Here, approximately. We will push the door and he will pass. To do this, we need to bake the animation. At this time, we cannot make changes to these animations. These are animations that are already made and that we cannot modify as such. There are no controllers to animate Manny, so what we are going to do? We are going to select Escape Manny in the sequencer, right click, and back to control rig, and choose CR Mannequin Body. A window opens. You do nothing and you click Create. Now, we are going to add an additive animation track. That is the animation that will pass over the one that already exists, which is already in place. To do this, you select CR Mannequin Body, you go to Section, and you go to Additive. A new line has been created. And it will be our additive animation that will come above the existing one. Manny is not rigged. We have our additive animation line on which we will apply our modifications. But first of all, we need to change the way the animation is going to be done. It means we'll have to animate the arms in IK. For now, the arms are FK, Forward Kinematic. That is to say that if I take, for example, the wrist and I pull on it, well, nothing comes with it. I pull the controller and stretch the mesh. This is not interesting at all. As we are in FK, the animation is done mainly by rotations. It means if I want to move the arm forward, I have to select the shoulder that I do the turn. I select the elbow, that's it, and so on. And there, I make an animation in FK that don't interest us. So what we want? We want to switch to IK. To do this, you go to CR Mannequin Body, the first line. You will deploy the global control. You will go down here, you see, ARM L F key high key switch and ARM R F key high key switch. These are the two parameters that interest us. So you are going to select all the keys, you remove them, and we'll define what interests us for all our animation. So you put yourself on the 0 key and you check these two boxes. And now you have seen the controller change to it. There are no more controllers at the shoulder and at the elbow. There are only one controller at the wrist. And when I select the wrist and move it, magic! The whole arm follows, and that's exactly what we need. It's a simple and fast way to be able to make our animations. Now, you can collapse here mannequin body and you select the second row, or additive row. Moreover, you will notice that it's circled in green. It means it's the part on which the modifications of the animation will be carried. This is to say that no matter what we are going to modify, everything will fit in the right line, CR mannequin body in the additive section. It's finished for these few small points of detail, so let's go for the hard part. So we want Money to step forward and bang on the door to open it. So you have to block the animations that are upstream, and you have to make a key point here. Everything that is before will not move. It means that all the keys which are included between the beginning and this point will not move. Then I want to do the key exit point, which is when Money has folded his arms and continues his run. Which is to say, he's going to push the door there, his arm is going to come back. You have to use your imagination, and there he resumed his course. And so at this point we are going to make a key exit point, and you click on the little plus. Hop, it adds us a key. It's important that you are on the line of the CR mannequin body because it controls all the keys. There, if I unroll, you see it put a key point to all controllers. That's just it. Now that we have defined the area in which we are going to animate, where we are going to make our modifications, it will be able to get to the heart of the matter. So here we go. Money arrives here, and we can imagine that he already his arm outstretches at this moment, and that is going to push the door. So you select the arm, you extend it, voilà. So after all, it's really purely subjective, and it's just how you want to do it that matters. So I advise you to switch to object mode to animate. This will be simpler to use the controllers. If you want to save some time, you can select one of the rows. Those are controllers. Hold Shift and select multiple row. And then there you go. It lets you spread all your fingers at the same time. That looks pretty good to me. So let's see what it looks now with our camera. You go to Window, then Viewport. So for me, it's on my second screen. I can bring back here. It's not terrible like that. Rather here and there, it will allow us to work more correctly. This is to say that you will select in the viewport, perspective, and cinema's camera actor, and there you saw, you got the view of your camera, which will be much easier to have the perfect shot. I made a small mistake earlier. I didn't add any key points globally. so the key points were directly assigned to the controllers. To do this, you are on the frame 13. You put a global key point on CR mannequin body. That's it. And when you go to close, you will have two key points that will appear here. So here we have our animation. Many pushes open the door that doesn't open yet and leaves. So we see his hand appearing. The hand does not go far enough. It pushes the door, but it should reach out. You always have to try to keep the axis of the arrows. Then it's important to have the right feeling in your camera view. See what it seems the most accurate to you visually. Don't hesitate to look at your hand, to lean it against the wall and see the shape it takes. Our character stretches out his arm, pushes the door, and all that remains is to open this door. Select the door, then we go to track in the sequencer, add to sequencer, and add SM door. The gate is added to the sequencer. We are going to freeze at the place where Mani knocks on the door, that is to say approximately at this place. We will put a key point, then we'll go a little further. We go to transform, rotate, and we'll modify the yaw to open the door. Let's see what that gives. Mani runs and knocks on the door opens, and Mani walks through. It's very good. It just feels like we are going through the door a bit. Indeed, the door does not leave immediately, and that is because of the interpolation. So you select the 2 points in yaw, either door, transform, rotation, and yaw. You select the 2 key points and put them in linear. Well, that's much better. Mani runs, knocks on the door, and then pass. This time, there are no problem. Let's see it in real speed. Alright, the more time you spend on it, the more believable and better your shot will be. A little advice, because we work with 2 active windows. Your computer must calculate the frame twice. If you are on laptop, this can be a problem, especially if your graphic card isn't powerful enough. A little advice that I give you, you go to Scalability and you will select medium or low in order to reduce the cost of calculating your scene. Even if it's not very complicated. I know that having 2 cameras calculating at the same time can cause problems. So as we work on the animation and not on the rendering, I advise you to put yourself in medium, see in low, if you really have a computer that is quite old. This parenthesis being done, let's go back to our second animation. As for our previous animation, we are going to put a point in and an out point to define where we are going to modify the animation. So we return to the sequencer in Mani. And we are going to select the second line, CR mannequin body. Next, we are going to change the animation from here, until it leaves. And you put a key point. Perfect. From the moment he lands, Mani is going to be on the ground and is not going to move. We want the character not to move. So we are going to go up to when he leaves. We will put a key point on the transform. And from here to here, we say to ourselves, but no, we don't want him to move. What are we going to do? It's simple. Select the key where he landed, the drop point. We do a Ctrl C. We click on the second key, Ctrl V. Voila. And from here to here, Mani doesn't move, and then it will start running. So we can land it. It doesn't move, then it leaves. If at some point we want to adjust, we can move the key again and make it starter again sooner. Now we get into the pure and hard animation part. By the time Mani lands, we want him to be in crouch position. You can see it's not touching the ground. That's okay. We'll fix the problem. You go to the transform. It was a mistake we made at the beginning. As I'm in animation, I can't move the transform, so you have to exit animation mode, selection mode, so then you can click on the transform. There is a pair, and we'll make sure to take down Mani. That's all he has his foot on the ground. Alright. You go back to animation mode. Up. Perfect. It feels pretty natural to me and it looks really good. So what we are going to do, we are now going to modify the camera to check if how effects works. So we select the camera in Cinema Camera Actor. You apply on the transform, and at this moment I advise you to use the camera. You see she's activated, she's possessed. So you can hold down the right click, you lower the camera, and there we can see our foot and our hand. So you can see I have just a piece of foot and a piece of the hand. We want to see more. You go to the transform section of the camera in location, and there we will play on the parameters. You see the camera, you're going to try to bring it back a little more in view, just to see the foot and the hand. We can readjust the arm a little. We want it to be perhaps a little further away, that we see a little more in any case. And we want to give the impression that his hand touches the ground. Alright, so you see I made a little mistake there. I shift my keys between those of the hand and the others. So it's necessary to select the key of the fingers and put the key points in phase with the others, so that everything's happened at the same time. I shift the animation that we did earlier on landing. She was at the level and I move around a lot. Well, this looks good to me. Let's see. Yes, it's better. We'll go back our camera a little to see the animation as a whole. It's not bad at all. So you can tweak the animation, you do it by feeling. It's like the first one, it's very subjective. They are the same, I could still work on it 1 hour to 1 hour to get a more cleaner shot, a bit like I showed you in the presentation video. Et voilà! I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, don't hesitate to subscribe at my channel, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment. See you soon for the next one.